Isn't protein supposed to damage your kidneys?
No, more protein is supposed to repair your kidneys.
Yeah.
When it comes to protein and kidney health, there is only one thing that reigns supreme: confusion. Protein will destroy your kidneys, they scream at you. But then, lack of protein will end your life. Yes, getting straight advice seems impossible. But what they never tell you is that you can see a huge improvement in your kidney function if you solve the protein puzzle. You could even go from end-stage renal failure all the way back to stage 3. Like it happened to this 72-year-old woman. She didn't just improve, she got off the machine. Catherine here, I'm a doctor of natural medicine. Fact: if you try to go low protein without including the 4 foods I will show you today, you will end up on the big D machine much sooner than you think. This is what recent studies are proving. Because here's the thing. In the world, there are more than 800 million CKD patients, and almost half of them are suffering from metabolic acidosis. This is a condition caused by eating too much protein. Millions of patients ending up on the big D machine just because nobody taught them how to eat. Guys, am I the only one who is mad at these numbers? Am I the only one who thinks this is a failure of the system? And now you might ask, Catherine, what is the solution? You must get protein right, because here is what happens when you finally get protein right. This 72-year-old woman improved her kidney function by more than 300%, and she got off dialysis for good. Yeah, no more daily sessions, no more needles, and she did it with the diet. Let's see how immediately with the 4 foods everyone should eat to control protein intake. Number 1, glass noodles, or as they call them in the Philippines, sotanghon. These are usually made from mung bean starch, and they are a staple in Filipino cuisine for a reason. Delicious in a stir fry, perfect in a broth. But what's so special about them? Well, they are not made from flour like regular pasta. They are made from starch, which is essentially flour with the protein removed, leaving behind pure energy. Because of this, they are naturally zero protein, making them the perfect staple for a renal diet. Amazing! Glass noodles are super easy to find in almost any grocery store, and I really recommend finding a way to include them, because here is the thing. There is no improving kidney function without cutting protein first. Current consensus says high protein equals high pressure. It squeezes your kidneys until they pop. And the best protein to cut? The low quality stuff, like the gluten in pasta and bread. That is trash protein for a kidney patient. It creates waste but no repair. Now, in Italy, we often prescribe upper type pasta and bread exactly for this reason. These are real kidney-saving food. They are medically foods actually. They allow you to eat a huge bowl of spaghetti without the protein load. They are also low potassium free and phosphorus free. But they can be expensive. Glass noodles, they are the budget hack. They do the exact same job, but you won't have to sell a kidney to afford them. So why recommending upper type pasta at all then? Now, the big advantage you get with upper type pasta and bread is the fact that these are medicinal foods made for kidney patients. So they are not just protein free, they also are potassium and phosphorus free. Most brands also include some of the vitamins CKD patients are often deficient in, and this is a way more important issue than most people realize. However, there is a danger here, a big one. Many people try to follow a renal diet, but they do a crucial mistake that ruins all their progress. If you cut out the meat and you cut out the fortified bread, where are you getting your vitamins? You can't follow a renal diet without a renal multivitamin. It is biologically impossible, especially when it comes to vitamin B12. Your body needs B12 to make red blood cells. If you go low protein without supplementing, you get anemia. Your body needs B12 to make red blood cells. If you go low protein without supplementing, you get anemia. That is why I created RenaBest, but I didn't just throw random vitamins in a bottle. I made it clean. Most supplement brands use cyanocobalamin. That is a synthetic, cheap form of vitamin B12 that is hard for your body to use. RenaBest uses methylcobalamin. This is the natural active form. Your kidneys don't have to work to convert it. It just works. And unlike the others, RenaBest has no magnesium stearate, no fillers, no junk. Just the fuel your kidneys are starving for. If you are going on a diet, protect yourself. Get RenaBest at the link in the description. Now guys, when it comes to the renal diet, it's also important to find meals we can actually enjoy. So let's talk about a way to replace not just pasta with a zero protein alternative, but meat as well. And don't worry, I'm not going to recommend those fake meat products like Beyond or stuff like that. That's junk food. So let's take a look at something that's actually good for you. Meet jackfruit. This is a gigantic, deliciously healthy fruit that's finally widely available in grocery stores in the US. And here's the thing. Ripe jackfruit tastes like a mango and an apple combined together, which is great, but eat it unripe and it magically transforms into something with the texture and neutral flavor of shredded meat. And it's super easy to prepare. You just need to saute shredded green jackfruit and to add your favorite sauce or spices, including low potassium barbecue sauce if you're going for a low protein pulled pork style sandwich. Now this fruit, like most fruits, is very low in protein, making it ideal for the renal diet. Eat fruit every day because when it comes to cutting protein intake, it's important to focus on the staple foods people eat every day, like pasta and bread. And guess what? This approach also works for weight loss. Here is the trick for those who need to cut calories and protein. Shirataki noodles. These are the miracle noodles. They are made from the konjac root. And this root has a peculiarity. It has almost 0 calories and 0 protein. If you are diabetic, if you are trying to lose weight, this is your secret weapon. It fills you up, but it counts for nothing. You can find shirataki in the refrigerated section, usually near the tofu. But a warning, when you open the bag, they smell fishy. Don't panic, rinse them very well under cold water for a minute and then the smell disappears completely. Use them in Asian dishes, soups, or stir fries. They soak up the flavor of whatever you cook in them. Next food, let's talk about the turnip, or as I like to call it, the low potassium potato. It is true, this root is an excellent addition to your diet. It gives you that comfort food feeling of a potato without the potassium danger. Turnips contain glucosinolates. These are anti-inflammatory compounds that fight oxidative stress. Roast them, boil them, mash them with garlic. They are delicious. And just like potatoes, they are low in protein. All you get here is fiber, vitamins, and clean energy. A true kidney saver. Now guys, I will show you the rest of this woman diet at the end of the video, so don't miss it. Before that, there is a question you might want to ask at this point. Wait, are you saying that we need to eat just carbs if we want our kidney function to improve? Well guys, no, not really. Most importantly, not everyone. It depends on the patient. Let me explain. Let's take the example of the 72-year-old woman that was able to go from dialysis all the way back to stage 3. She was suffering from several other conditions, not just CKD, coronary artery disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high potassium, and obesity. Now guys, that's a pretty long list of comorbidities. When I get a new patient that has all of these issues at the same time, I'm always worried. A diet to treat all of these issues is never easy, for the patient. Actually, the diet this woman was prescribed is pretty simple on paper. She's just eating vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, and nuts and seeds. Nothing simpler. No bread, no processed foods, no junk food, and no animal-based foods, of course. And this is a super simple diet on paper, but super hard to follow. Actually, if we read the rest of the paragraph, it's also mentioned that she was getting just the 10% of her calories from protein and just the 10% of her calories from fats. So yeah, the foods I've just mentioned are foods like those that can save a patient like this from dialysis because they have no protein. But here's the thing, you are not going to improve if you follow her diet. Nope. You need to follow a diet developed for you, especially when it comes to protein. Fact, if you have CKD, you can improve, but you have to get the protein right. Some of you need less, but some of you actually need more protein. It's true. So today we will talk about foods, but I will also talk about personalization. I will show you exactly who needs what, because getting protein right, it's the key to your freedom. So here's my point. The diet that saved this woman from dialysis and brought her back to stage 3, it may not work for you. You will need to personalize it. Let's see how to do just that. So as we have seen, for some patients, a diet with just the 10% of calories coming from protein can be a lifesaver. For others, however, it can be a bad idea to follow a very low protein diet. So now the question is, do you need more protein than other kidney disease patients? Well, to find an answer, let's take a look at my table. There are 3 categories of patients that need more protein compared to most CKD patients. First of all, patients who are still in the initial stages of CKD and that have no proteinuria. So this is a pretty recent update to the guideline for the renal diet. So let's say you have a GFR above 50, I said 50, not 15, and your proteinuria is still in the normal range. Yeah, I wouldn't really be recommending going very low protein at this point. I would still recommend going plant-based, but I will also recommend some of the high protein, kidney-safe foods we will see in a moment. Now keep in mind that this number you see here, 0.8 to 1 gram per kilogram of ideal body weight, is still a lot less protein than what most people are used to eating, alright? This is still a plant-based diet. The second category of patients that may benefit from including more protein in their diet are patients that are very old and very weak. The medical term here is sarcopenic, which is a fancy way of saying the patient has a very small amount of muscles. In this case, CKD may not be the primary concern, alright? So a doctor may decide that getting a bit more protein may be the better choice. Still no steak and bacon though. Remember that excess protein intake causes metabolic acidosis, and that will eat up your muscles even faster. And then it will start eating your bones as well. So I would not recommend a ton of protein here. That never helps. Now, the vast majority of patients who are recommended a diet with more protein are those on dialysis. And that's because the majority of patients on dialysis won't be able to get out of dialysis by cutting protein, while a plant-based diet can still help even while on dialysis. Adding some low phosphorus, high-quality protein is actually going to protect your health. We will see what foods are the best to do just that in a moment. Before that, you might ask, what about diabetes? Aren't patients with diabetes supposed to eat more protein to stabilize their insulin levels? Well guys, not really. That's a myth that was debunked long time ago. And here's the thing, recommending more protein to diabetes patients never worked. On the other hand, we have a large amount of medical literature proving that CKD patients with diabetes must cut their protein intake. The lower, the better. And the reason is pretty simple, proteinuria. Do you remember what I was saying about patients in the early stage of CKD? That they can have more protein if they don't have proteinuria? Well, science says that if you eat more protein, you are going to have more proteinuria. So you eat a steak, but your body will get none of the protein you just ate. Instead, the extra protein you were planning to use will punch some new holes in your precious filters and it will turn into foam on top of your urine. Not worth it. Instead, if you reduce protein intake, there will be less pressure on your kidneys and less proteinuria. We do monitor the amount of protein you have in your blood, and we do frequently see CKD patients with proteinuria having more protein in blood when they eat less protein. So here's my point. No two patients can follow the same diet. Following someone else's renal diet is like using their GPS directions to get to your house. You're both driving, but only one of you is ending up in the right place. The other one is ending up in dialysis. So let's say that you are in one of the 3 categories of CKD patients that need more protein. You have a problem. You need the fuel, but you don't want the toxic smoke that comes with burning it. What do you eat? Number 1 is soy foods. Tofu, tempeh, edamame. Think of this as clean energy for your body. Studies show that replacing animal protein with soy lowers creatinine. It gives you the building blocks without the heavy waste. But a warning, protein is still protein. If you are stage 3B or 4, watch your portions. Don't go overboard. Number 2, egg whites. This is the holy grail for dialysis patients. Why? Because of the phosphorus trap. Here is what they don't tell you. Dialysis is terrible at removing phosphorus. It clears the other toxins, but phosphorus, it sticks. So you go back to eating steak and boom, your skin itches like you have poison ivy under it. That is why egg whites are special. They are pure protein without the phosphorus tax. Meat, dairy, even fish, they come with a heavy phosphorus bill. Egg whites, they are free. So if you need to keep your albumin up, if you need to stop the wasting, focus on the whites. They beat fish, they beat chicken, they beat everything. And if you want more kidney saving secrets that your doctor isn't telling you, watch this video up here, and this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye-bye.